Welcome to the Mike and JD Show YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. I want you to do me a big favor before you check out this clip. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to throw in a comment and make sure you're a subscriber to this channel. And then I want you to share this video with your friends. Help us defeat the algorithm. And then if you like this content and you appreciate this content, please head over to patreon.com/the Mike and JD Show and support the show. That is how we actually get funded to be able to do this. So we thank you very much for being here. And now enjoy the clip. We do have some free agency notes. I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about it one time, and then I'm going to say it here, and then I'm just going to move on, and I want all of you to move on with me, okay? And I want you to say it with me. Say it at the same time. Let's all be in unison on this. Let's all wrap our heads and get our minds right. Let's all figure this out together. Kazuchika Okada is now a free agent in New Japan Pro Wrestling, okay? He's leaving New Japan, and he's going to be on TNA this week. And it's going to spark a lot of the most like hardcore fans of TNA to think that Okada is going to come to TNA. And now I want you guys to be in unison on this. I want you guys to live in a reality-based world. I want you guys to get your minds right. And I want you to be on the same team as me. And just say it with me. Okada is not coming to TNA. Okay, I'm going to give you one more opportunity. Okada is not coming to TNA. Okay, and I want you to just say that over and over again. And if you start to believe that he is coming to TNA, what I want you to do is go to your local middle school. I want you to go up on their chalkboard. I want you to write that shit 5,000 times on that fucking chalkboard. Okay, because it is not happening. This is a two-horse race. This is WWE or AEW. And they are going to throw so much money at that man. It's going to be ridiculous. And there's no amount of and there's no possible way that TNA can compete with that. It just isn't happening. The resources are different. They're in different universes. They're in different stratospheres when it comes to the amount of resources they have. Now, I get it. Anthem has a lot of money. They do. They ain't got that kind of money. They just don't. They have a lot of money, but TNA doesn't, because TNA gets a budget, right? TNA doesn't get a rights fee from Access Television. They get a budget. Okay, it's a little bit different. So they don't have expendable income. What they get, they use up. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in a resource management position. And I have, to where I've had to manage a budget, and I've been managing a budget for my section I'm in a different position now where I don't have to, but for the previous 5 or 6 years, I was in charge of the budget. And you get a set budget every year, and in the fiscal year. And it's from October 1st through September 31st or September 30th. I can't remember, but you get a fiscal year budget. So your budget's set. Okay. And you have to use up that money within that budget. At least in the military, you have to use up that money within that budget. And if you have a surplus at the end of the year, this is why DOD gets the biggest budget. If you don't use it, you lose it essentially. So you don't get that money next year. Okay, well, you don't need as much money as we thought you did. And I would assume that similar stuff applies to where they get their set budget for the year, for production, for talent, for all that stuff from Anthem. And it's set for the year. And if they want to go outside of that budget, they then have to submit a request to get a budget increase, specific, or in my case, if I need to purchase a new piece of equipment, I have to, submit a new item request and say, here's what I need it for, here's the cost, and then it'll go through the proper channels. And if they have the expendable income, they'll get it for me. If not, we have to wait till the new fiscal year starts, and then we submit that with our annual budget. So that's different than, say, AEW. They don't get a budget from Warner. They get a rights fee, and they can use that money however they want. Different. So yeah, Okada's not coming over. Now, another new free agent in New Japan, who I think is very interesting, that I could see coming over to TNA, is Tama Tonga. spoiler alert, he just dropped his title to Evil, the never open weight title that he had just defeated Shingo Takagi earlier this month at Wrestle Kingdom, and one of the best matches of the night. And if somebody said that was the best match of the night, I would disagree, but I could see why you would say that. So it was just an incredible. I think Dave gave it a 5, boy. I think he gave it a 5. So that was an incredible match. And his last year in New Japan has actually been quite good. He had a good run. But he is very hot and cold. And so he's also 40. He doesn't want to keep traveling to Japan. And the yen is down in Japan, and that's why we're seeing Ospreay and Okada and Jay White and all these people leaving, is because, you know, the money that was there at one point in time is just not there. And you know, when they're selling these tickets, because the yen is down, it doesn't go as far. And so, and filling up those arenas doesn't get you as much money as it used to. And so, because they have to convert that into American dollars, and the conversion just it's not good for them. So, Tama Tonga is now officially a free agent. He's finished up with New Japan. And I know a lot of people think that he could go get involved with that Bloodline storyline. I just don't see it. I really don't see it. He's, a few years ago, if the storyline had been going, I could have seen the Tongans come in and start, wreaking havoc in WWE, like as a unit. Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and Hikuleo, the brothers. I could have seen that, and then doing a feud with the Bloodline when they were as a unit, or if the Bloodline turned on Roman Reigns could have brought in, his Tongan second cousins, Haku's kids. I could have seen that. So, but I just don't see it, because, like I said, he's guys in his 40s now. He's still like, he's a good wrestler, but I just don't think that, he would be a draw to the American audience. I don't think he's ever been over in the States, and honestly he was never really a top guy in New Japan. He was always kind of a mid-carder in New Japan. So I just don't see AEW or WWE bringing him in. AEW, I would say, is like 100% out. I just don't see that they would care about Tonga or the GOD or any form or fashion. I just don't see it. I think WWE would bring in Hikuleo in a heartbeat if they had the opportunity, and I was surprised that Hikuleo stuck around with New Japan a little bit longer. But I think once his deal's up, I could see him being WWE bound. But TNA, I think they would like him. I do. I think they would want to bring him in. I don't think he would cost that much. I think that he would be making upper tier TNA money, and I think they would like him. And I think that he's got the New Japan cred, and that's what they like. They like guys from New Japan. They like guys from WWE, as we're going to get to in a little bit. They like guys off of AEW television. They're having a hard time discovering new talent and pushing their own. And that's been difficult for them. So they like to go to those wells. He's a 40-year-old guy, but they just signed Kushida, and they just signed Trent Seven, a couple 40-year-olds off New Japan and WWE television. So I could see them doing that. I don't think that it would change anything for TNA. I don't think that he would add business, but I could see him being, filling out the roster, having a run towards the title, never being the champion, having really good matches with, the usual types, Alexander and Speedball and those guys. I could see him challenging Moose for the title on a monthly Impact Plus special, and then just kind of being a middle of the road guy if they brought him in. And I honestly, I'm not predicting they will, but I think that that's a possibility.